Jones with Pool Warehouse, and today we're looking at your gasket and your beauty strip that goes on the front of your step. Now, we always get asked, when should we replace the gasket behind the beauty strip and when should we replace this faceplate? We would always recommend anytime you're changing your liner, whether that's 5 years, 15 years, or 25 years. If you're gonna take that gasket off, if you're gonna take that beauty strip off, go ahead and replace the material as well. It's gonna be better because this is a leak point in your pool. Now, we'll quickly talk about how you do that, but do note, this is a potential leak area. So when you're screwing things in, when you're using tools, be careful, make sure that you're safe around this area. You don't wanna drop a knife in or a screwdriver in that can make a hole in your liner. Okay, we're gonna quickly talk about what's included in this package. Now, for starters, you're gonna get your beauty strips and your faceplates. Now, those come in 8-foot sticks. The first item you'll have is an 8-foot stick of your beauty strip, and we're gonna cut that to length, and we'll talk about that more later. And in addition, you're also going to get your faceplate. That is also drilled and cut to length. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Don't forget, you get 2 8-foot sticks. Right behind that, you're gonna have your gasket material. Now, this comes in a 16-foot roll. This is also cut on site to length, so set that aside. In addition, you've got your 50 screws. Now, we do recommend you change out all the screws. We're gonna go ahead and send you 50 new ones, so set those aside. And you've got 2 top caps. The top caps really just give it a nice, clean, finished look, and those come in gray or white. Now, set all that aside, and we'll talk about how to install these and give you some pro tips to use during and along the way during your installation process. Now, as you get ready for installation, we're gonna go through and make a couple suggestions as you prepare to install that faceplate and gasket. Now, first off, you're gonna wanna pull off those top caps, and once you get that beauty strip off, and a flathead screwdriver will really help pop that off, but once you get that beauty strip off, we want you to pause and stop. Before you unbolt the first screw, we want you to label top left, top right. Now, whether you're sitting on the step or whether you're looking at the step, determine what your left is and what your right is, and go ahead and label those, because what we want to do is prevent any potential for leaks. So when we go back and we drill in our holes in that faceplate, we want those to match up exactly to the existing holes that are there. That'll prevent any leaking from occurring. And we're gonna do that as we go all the way down. In addition, you have this strip that runs left to right. We also want you to label left and right on that strip as well. That way those holes line up perfectly when you're doing the gasket and the faceplate installation. Now, we've gone ahead and gotten the top cap and the beauty strip off the front, and that beauty strip is easy to pop off with a flathead screwdriver. But if you'll notice, we've gone ahead and labeled left top. Now, as we take out that last screw, we're gonna go ahead and take this piece and lay it right on top of our new faceplate material. The reason for that is we wanna go ahead and mark each individual screw hole, and we wanna go ahead and cut this to length. In addition, label this top left. This is our top left piece. We're gonna have it cut to the exact length, and we're gonna mark every screw hole. The reason for that, you do not want to make new screw holes in your step. That could create a potential leak. You have existing screw holes that are already in your step. We wanna match those perfectly. That's gonna prevent any potential leaks from happening later on down the road. Now, we're gonna go ahead and peel off this gasket material. And it may break apart depending on the age, and it may not. Now, if you'll notice on the back side of this gasket, there's double-sided sticky tape. That's to keep it in place as we go and get those screws ready to put back in. Now, if you don't have that, you can also use silicone as well, but you definitely need a way to keep that on the face of the step. But once again, once you get all this off, the number one thing you're gonna wanna do is clean the face of the step. You wanna make sure none of that sticky residue is left. You're gonna wanna make sure the whole face is clean before we go and start applying our new sticky tape, our silicone, or our gaskets and faceplates. So go ahead and set that aside as well. And remember, you're gonna need to cut this to length. And I would go ahead and do that while you have it in your hand. Label the top, label the bottom, and go ahead and label it left to right, and go ahead and cut that to length. Then you'll have 2 sections already cut to length and ready to go on your wall. Now, we've gone ahead and gotten the faceplate and the gasket off of this step, and we're ready to put on the new faceplate and gasket. I left a little bit of the sticky tape on the front so that way you could see what that double-sided tape looks like. Regardless, whenever you get ready and you've cleaned the front of that step, don't forget to do that, you're gonna get that double-sided sticky tape down and you're gonna place your gasket on top, getting it left side top, right side top, aligned perfectly so those bolt holes match. Now, if you don't have double-sided sticky tape, you can use silicone. Just make sure you let that silicone cure and dry before you put your liner in. Regardless, we've got the double-sided sticky down. Now it's gonna go gasket, liner goes over the top of this gasket, and then ultimately the faceplate will lay on top of that. Now, something to remember is that faceplate and gasket are made to line up with each other. I love this, and Hydro Pools, I believe, is one of the few manufacturers that actually does this. They put rivets or little divots inside their gasket that marry up perfectly with those same divots on the faceplate. That creates a really nice wedge that will keep water from getting behind the liner, and really that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create or eliminate any potential leak. Now, these are just a few pro tips for installing your faceplate and your gasket on your step. We do recommend changing out those gaskets on your skimmers, on your main drains. If you have a pool light, your returns, go ahead and change out those faceplates and gaskets when changing your liner on all those other items in your pool. If you'd like to watch a full-length installation video, visit our YouTube channel. We show you step-by-step how to install a new pool liner or even how to measure your pool for a new pool liner. Feel free to give us a call with questions on this package or visit us online at poolwarehouse.com.